A text left unread. A joke that got no laugh. A friend who didn't save you a seat. Small, almost nothing. So why does it feel like something inside you just cracked? You know it's irrational. You tell yourself it doesn't matter. But some part of you still flinches. That part isn't broken. It's older than you think. You replay it. The tone of their message, the pause before they answered, the way their face changed just slightly when you spoke. You tell yourself you're overreacting, but the sting doesn't leave. It sits in your chest like a low current. This isn't really about the text or the joke or the seat. It's about a signal your brain picked up, a signal that says you don't belong here. And that signal doesn't ask for context. It just fires. Psychologists call this rejection sensitivity, a heightened tendency to expect, perceive, and intensely feel rejection, even in ambiguous moments. For some people, this sensitivity runs quietly. For others, it runs loud enough to reshape an entire day. Here's what almost no one tells you. Your reaction isn't weakness. It's evidence that your social alarm system works exactly as designed. Humans evolved in small tribes, where being cast out wasn't an inconvenience, it was a death sentence. No group meant no food, no protection, no survival. So the brain built a warning system for exclusion, and it built it to be fast, not accurate. You're not overreacting. You're running ancient software on a modern problem. Neuroscientist Naomi Eisenberger found something remarkable. Social rejection activates the same brain region involved in physical pain, the anterior cingulate cortex. Your brain doesn't have two completely separate systems for emotional pain and physical pain. It borrowed one system to protect something just as important: belonging. That's why rejection doesn't simply feel unpleasant, it feels like an injury. And there's another layer. The brain has what's called a negativity bias. It gives more weight to painful or threatening experiences than positive ones. One ignored message can outweigh 100 kind ones, not because the kindness wasn't real, but because your brain remembers danger longer than comfort. Historically, that's what helped humans survive. So what can you do? First, name the mechanism, not the story. Instead of saying, "Nobody likes me," say, "My rejection alarm just went off." Psychologists call this affect labeling. Simply naming the emotion can reduce activity in the brain's threat response. Second, widen your evidence window. Rejection sensitivity zooms in on one painful moment. Intentionally remember 3 moments where you felt accepted, appreciated, or connected. You're reminding your brain that one moment is not the whole picture. Third, delay your interpretation. Silence is ambiguous. Your mind wants to fill in the blanks, usually with the worst possible explanation. Wait. More information often changes the story. Fourth, separate the event from your identity. A moment of rejection is information about a moment. It is not evidence about your worth. People with secure attachment don't avoid rejection. They simply recover without turning every setback into a verdict about themselves. And finally, practice feeling the discomfort without reacting immediately. Don't send the anxious follow-up message. Don't disappear to protect yourself. Let the feeling exist. Emotions rise. Emotions fall. They rarely last as long as they promise. Think of your nervous system like a smoke detector. It doesn't know the difference between house fire and burnt toast. It just screams. Your job isn't to rip the detector off the ceiling. Your job is to check the kitchen before running outside. The alarm is information. It is not instruction. You are not too sensitive. You are not too much. You're a person with a nervous system built for connection, living in a world that constantly tests that connection in small, ambiguous ways. The sting will come again. It probably came today. But now, when it does, you'll recognize it for what it really is. Not proof that you don't belong, just an old alarm doing its very old job. And this time, you get to decide what happens next.